Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Brown's Homestead Harvest House. Today we're making elk pepperoni. There's 40 pounds of trim elk meat here and about 14 pounds of pork butt. Grind it up, add our seasonings to it, our pepperoni seasoning. We'll be stuffing it today and letting it sit in the cooler overnight, and we'll be smoking tomorrow. And tomorrow we're making some pepper snack sticks. And then Monday, I'm gonna make some summer sausage. So this will be a sequence of all three. We're gonna start mixing this stuff up in its equal ratios, and then we'll get it ground up and start making some pepperoni for you. Okay, we've got each bowl measured out, 25 pounds of the pork butt and the elk in this, 25 here. So we have 50 pounds, 50 pounds total. We mixed up one bowl right now of the pepperoni seasoning for 25 pounds of meat. I'll get this ground up, mix it, and we'll get this all flavored up and get it sitting. Then we'll mix up another 25 pounds of seasoning for this bowl, grind it up, and get it prepped for the stuffing and into the casings. So right now I'm gonna start grinding one of these down over here on the grinder. 25 pounds of meat right here. Pork butt and elk trim, really clean stuff going in. Okay, there's 25 pounds on the initial grind. We'll add some seasoning and regrind it, and then we'll prep it for the stuffer. Okay, what we're doing now is we're adding some of the meat into the bowl. Shelly will be sprinkling the spices in. We'll mix it up, add some more, mix it up really good, and then I'll throw it back through the grinder and we'll do a second grind on it. We found out that works really good to distribute the spices and a nice even mix. So that's what we're doing now. Shell. And we mix it by hand. We did have one of those mixer things, hand crank things, but it just was more of a mess. So I get to hand mix the stuff, and then the biro gets to mix it. So we'll add a little bit of cold ice or cold water. Shell, if you can give me just a little bit of water. It's freezing anyways. It's about 40 degrees anyways, this meat. But we add the water in with it, cold water, to help press it out and grind it through a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go back over to the grinder real quick. Dump this meat in and press it through. All right. Just finishing up this 25 pounds. We'll be setting this aside and grinding up that other 25 pounds of meat for the pepperoni. So we're just finishing that off right now. Gonna move it over to the table. I'll ground that other stuff up real quick, and we'll get ready to stuff it. Okay, we have the 50 pounds of pepperoni in the tubs here. I'm gonna be stuffing it. I've already started stuffing, putting the pepperoni in the can. The can will hold about 13 pounds. We use 18 millimeter edible collagen casings, clear or mahogany for this. It doesn't matter, they come in the smoker, so they turn red anyways. And we're gonna start pressing these out. I've started filling this already. It's kind of neat. See, so now we're full. Move that off to the side. It's gonna take probably four to five presses to get through all of this weight, and you'll see how this goes. This is fun, but I have my handy dandy helper over here, Shelly Ann. Shelly helping. They come in, well, certain amounts for each casing. We'll do a certain amount of weight. But we'll just slip on this much and see how much we get pressed out. Oh. What's kind of neat, before we have a little bigger tube than this, and man, you could only get on probably 4 feet of casing on here, and then you have to put on new, and it sucked. But now we can stick on a whole flipping thing here and unlock them down, 2 gears, and then we'll start pressing. So what we'll do is we'll start pressing it out. We twist the end, and Shelly will slowly start feeding it out while I do all the pressing. Sometimes if we press too hard, too fast, the casing will burst, but oh God, yes. I'm gonna have to add a little water. Sometimes it comes off, obviously, and puts a halt to the process. Yeah, we're gonna add a little water to the can, because this stuff is like trying to squeeze a golf ball through a garden hose, right? But that's okay. We don't get enough shoulder workouts. So yes, this takes a little bit, but we get a good strand and we'll rope it in a lasso for now. Stick them on a tray, get them in the cooler to rest overnight. Do you remember these from school or the hospital? Cafeteria trays, they work beautiful. Boom. So we'll stack this up, get them in the cooler, let them hang overnight. Okay, that can is pressed. 4 more, we're done. I'm gonna crank it up now. I'm gonna crank it up now. You'll sometimes see the old sausage press on like antique stores or marketplace or something. They're smaller cans. And they did it by hand also. There's new ones that use water pressure or pneumatics and you foot pedals and they do it. So not us. We prefer work. Actually, this is a tray spade from Italy. We got this. Shell, can you give me some cold water? Yep, that's what I'm working on. Shelly's dad bought this for us when we started this up 25 years ago. Great flipping tool. Just a little manual intensive, but we're gonna add a little water now. That's good. Make it a little more sloppy. So it'll press through a little easier. Now watch this one. When we press this. Yeah. Let's see if this is any easier. Why, yes. Yes, it's not. A little easier. I'll add a little more water on the next one. So, anyways, we're gonna finish pressing these out, these tubs, then we'll show you the final product. Okay, we finished pressing the pepperoni out, and I don't know if you can see the difference. This is more of a lighter red, brown. This is mahogany. 2 different edible collagen casings. One's mahogany, one's clear. These will turn red, pepperoni red tomorrow once they come out of the smokers. And this will stay, it'll turn red also, but there's no real difference. The clear one might be a 19 millimeter, and these are 18, but it's so minute, it doesn't matter. But we ended up with about 50 pounds of the pepperoni pressed out, which is a lot of pepperoni pressed out. And then out of the bottom of the can, you usually have this leftover stuff that doesn't quite, oh, well, the can's not here. In the bottom of the can, on the press tube discharge that's left there, we normally obviously scoop it out, and then we'll wrap it, and it goes with our family or friend or whoever it is. And then you can brown this up. We like browning this up like, you know, ground burger, but it's just ground pepperoni seasoning. So you could add it into lasagna, spaghetti, omelets, or whatever with eggs, and it makes a really good extra flavor, different flavor for your stuff. So we try to give as much back of everything as we can. There's obviously a little bit of waste once the smoker stuff, because you're clipping ends and stuff happens. So that concludes the pressing out part of this elk pepperoni. Tomorrow we will be smoking, and as we're smoking, we will be doing jalapeno pepper sticks tomorrow, and then the following day on Monday, October 24th, I will be doing summer sausage. But we're going to show you clips of all that. But for today, we're done pressing out the pepperoni. Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to finish up this pepperoni. I'm going to get it on its hanging rods here. It's been in the cooler overnight, curing, for about 17 hours. We're going to get it into the 2 smokers. We have a small, they're not big smokers, they're smaller, but we have 2 of them. We're going to get them into the smokers and get them going. It's 0630 hours. I'm going to put apple pellets in one smoker, and alder pellets in the small smoker, which is right there. That's a smaller of the 2. I'll show you the bigger one when we get going here. So anyways, I'm going to get these strung up on the rods, start getting them in there. The smokers are at about 150 right now. We'll put some smoke on them, and then once the smoke's done, we'll start raising the temperature to get it to the 155, 160 internal temp when they're finished. So let me get these on the rods. The smaller smoker, I gotta let them hang, I'm gonna say about 18 inches, because you don't want them too close down into the heat or they'll kind of burn. But the smaller smoker doesn't have an exhaust fan on it. It's a natural draft. So it cooks a little quicker, obviously, because it's smaller. The larger smoker has an exhaust fan, an induced draft fan on it. Smaller smoker, I'll probably stick 3 strands in. So we'll go over to the small smoker right there and get them going. And basically this will take, it can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. 4 hours, just all depends on obviously how fast they cook, but how the temperature rises and falls a little bit in there. But the small smoker is probably about a 3-hour smoke, and then the larger smoker is about a 5. I'll insert an internal thermometer probe here once I get the last bar in and put the smoke on, and monitor it, and we'll go to the big smoker. I don't know if I mentioned, but my smokers are just electric smokers, but they're like probably 25 years old. The guy made them over in Montana. They do pretty good, and they're just the electric coil heating elements. Down below, there's 2 of them. They actually do really well until you lose electricity, and then they don't do well at all. But we have a generator if I need to. Okay, got the small smoker going here. I got a little issue I may have to deal with on my duct. But anyways, let me bring you over here and show you a little closer. I will insert the little probe into the pepperoni here, down in there. I also have an out temperature gauge on the outside to see what's the box's temperature's at, and then the meat. So the meat right now is 34 degrees. I'm gonna put the alder on the smoke, on the smaller smoker down below here. All right, smoke's on. Man's best friend next to a couple other things, duct tape. So I gotta get some duct tape because my flue keeps popping up because it's heating up and warming up. So I'll just get some duct tape around there here in a couple minutes. So anyways, I'm going to start doing the bars for the bigger smoker, which I might as well kind of show you that one now. See, that one's about 4 foot tall. This one's like 6 foot tall. It's a bigger one, and we'll put the rest of the pepperoni in that one. So let's get on that. All right, there we go. I'm gonna take these over to the big smoker, and we'll keep working here. I just really like to thank everybody who's watching this. You know, this is just our hobby butcher shop that we converted. Watch a previous video on that, but yeah, it's really appreciate you if you're watching and subscribe, you know, and like. You know, I'm still learning how to do all this videoing and stuff, and thank God for my soon-to-be daughter-in-law that's coaching me through it all. I'll be right back. Grab that last tray. And you know what sucks about all this? Is I'm the type of person that just likes to work. You know, if I sit around, I start feeling like I gotta work, I gotta do something, or I'm stagnant. But what sucks is I don't get to enjoy my cup of coffee that I made about 20 minutes ago, so it gets cold. So then you nuke it, you start doing something else, it gets cold again. So by the time you finally get your coffee, it's 3 hours later, and you might as well just make a new cup or pot. All right, which I will do in a minute. I'm gonna get the smoke, the apple on the big smoker, insert the thermometer, and monitor them for the next 3 or 4 years. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna have to make some jalapeno pepper sticks, plain pepper sticks, and then we're gonna add some jalapeno and some cheese in with the second set. So I'll be getting on that, and we'll be showing you that. So stay tuned. Okay, everyone, I've got the meat. This is deer meat from a friend. And then the assorted percentage of pork fat, pork trim to add to this. It's about 30% pork to the weight of meat of it. And then we'll grind this, add our seasonings and stuff, and grind it again and do like what we did on the pepperoni. I will add these, do the grind. I'm not gonna show you the grind because you saw the grind on the pepperoni. I will show you the grind on the summer sausage though, because we have to get it down to a finer meat consistency, the really fine like hot dog consistency type. And that's a little more critical tomorrow. But for this is like pepperoni mix, 3/16 plate. I do it twice, mix in your spices. This will have, one will be a plain pepper stick, and the other one will be a jalapeno and cheese pepper stick. Most part we use a Tillamook, which is out of Oregon, medium cheddar, or a pepper jack, Tillamook pepper jack, or the Tillamook Monterey Jack. And then sometimes we use the high temp cheese that's made for this stuff, but it depends on what we're making sometimes. So anyways, I'm gonna get going on this. I'm gonna grind it, we'll get it mixed up. We'll show you a little bit of the process once we convert between the two samples, and keep moving on. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it. We'll get on with this. They don't call it duct tape for nothing. I gotta fix my duck. Right here. She's popping up on me. There we go. Look at that duct tape. Oh, look at that. Oh, almost as good as zip ties. Yeah, and the channel locks. Yeah, look at that. That's called surgery. That's what that's called. You know, you could probably have built the pyramids with duct tape. And I gotta tell you something. We've been here 30 years. Anyways, been doing this for 27. So for about 24 of those years, we didn't have heat out here in the meat shop. You know, keep it cool and stuff. But when you're raising kids and your wife come out here and it's like 20 degrees outside and this is about 38 in here, they tend to get a little cold. So I had to put a hole in my door and put a wood stove out here. And I'll tell you what though, big mama happy. Mama's happy, you happy. Stay tuned. I'm gonna light this stove off, get it warm in here, and I don't pour around with everything. You get a stupid handheld little propane torch, and get that stuff lit. Now this hasn't been lit for about 6 months, so it's gonna take a little bit for it to warm up, get things going. We'll see here. Okay, I got it ground up, got our spices mixed in. To the ratios that it needed to be. It was 17 pounds of meat per bowl, and then we added the according amount of spice to it. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna press this one out first, mix it up again, put it in the can, press it out, and then we'll have to change out I call it a needle tube, this tube to a little bigger one to accommodate the size of the cheese, because that cheese, you think yesterday was hard pushing that thing. It'd be a bowling ball through a garden hose. So we'll switch out this tube, put on a little bigger one. We can't put on as much of the casings, the 18 mil edible collagen casings on there as much. So we have to, takes a little bit longer, but that's okay. We're gonna start on that. The pepperonis from yesterday are in there smoking. They're looking pretty good. They're about 133 degrees. It's been, oh man, I forgot what time, an hour and a half. Probably another hour for one, 2 for another. Right now, I'm gonna start putting these into the can and we'll start pressing these out. Okay, so before that other tube, the needle tube, compared to this one, we could stick one of these 18 millimeter, the whole tubing on the sleeve. Well, this one, we can only do about, well, a little bit at a time because it's bigger diameter, so to compensate. So it kind of sucks, but you gotta kind of feed it on there. It's all right, we'll get her done. I hate that saying. We'll get it done. Little pressure relief valve on top of the pressure disc that pushes down, relieves all the air, and goes from there. So, gotta kind of burp it for a second because we did add new meat to a bigger tube, so you have a little bit of air in there. We'll tie off the end. We'll start pressing these out. And Shelly's here, so we gotta kind of watch this. Make sure it feeds good. We're gonna do 1 or 2 of these and then shut it down so we can boogie woogie and get this crap done. Okay, here we go. This one we gotta go a little slower, but it is a little easier. See, so this is all we get out of a press because of that. We can maybe get longer, we'll see. So just takes a little bit. We're gonna do a couple more and then we'll show you when we're finally done with this bowl. And we should be getting close to these pepperonis being done. So let's press out one more for you. Here we go. Here we go. And that's it. So we're gonna finish these off. We'll get back with you once we get done and let you know what the total is and how it looks. Okay, we just finished pressing out the pepper sticks, the plain ones. Now we're gonna go to the jalapeno and cheddar. Like I said, we gotta switch out from that needle tube up to the next tube because of the cheese compensation. So put the bigger one on, ta-da. You can see that one, yeah, it's like twice the size. But so it takes us a little longer, but we have to put this on to compensate for that. So we're almost ready to press out. This will be the last press of the day. And then tomorrow we'll be doing smoking these and making summer sausage, which is really good. But okay, it's about 4 months later. We just got done pressing that last bit of stuff out. Actually, it didn't take us too long. It took us about 35 minutes to finish off that 17, 19 pounds. We got it done. Here's the residual out of the bottom of the can that we fold up and give it to them. And I told you what you can do with that. But we already put one of the trays in the cooler. This is the last one we did, and that's this. So the pepper sticks and pepper stick with jalapeno and cheese are almost done. We'll smoke them tomorrow. They're gonna go in the cooler. This meat came to us already off the bone and cleaned up from a friend, and he had it bagged up. I love it when people know how to take care of their meat, and really nice for us. It makes it a lot easier. So tomorrow will be the last of the elk and the deer processing into sausages, and I will show you that process. I will also come back in the next clip or segment here when these pepperonis come out and show you those. And we're gonna hang those and let them cool, and then this afternoon, probably around 1400 or 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we'll come down and wrap them up and get them in the freezer. So thank you, and we'll be back. Okay, we just pulled almost the last set of pepperoni out of the big smoker over there and the little smoker. It's cooling right now. In about an hour, we'll wrap it up and package it and get it in the freezer. Okay, we finished up packaging the pepperoni. We ended up with 26 total packages with 10 in each, so that's 260 sticks of pepperoni, give or take 1 or 2. So the pepperoni's wrapped, it's gonna get in the freezer. Tomorrow I'll be smoking the pepper sticks, jalapeno and cheese, and then tomorrow I'll also be starting the grind and the stuffing of the summer sausage, which is really cool. That's our best item that we love. And stay tuned, and we'll keep adding on to the video tomorrow. See you later. Good morning, everybody. This is the last segment of the sausage making process of this deer and elk. This is going to be the summer sausage with jalapeno and cheese. Right now I got to do the grind on it, the initial grind, and then we'll add the seasoning, do a regrind through the smallest plate, and with the seasoning added, then regrind it the second time, add the jalapenos and cheese to it, and then we'll stick it in the can, and then we'll press it out. It's in 1.5 inch casings. Hey, this is 19 pounds in each one of these bowls, and then about 4.75 pounds of pork trim and pork fat, and to add to it. I'm gonna get this ground up. I'm not gonna show that because you've already seen me grind stuff. So once I get the seasoning in it and stuff like that, we will turn it back on and keep going. Thanks. I've got one of the tubs with that had the 24 pound, 23 pounds split in half. So I'm sitting at 11.5 per container here. It's just a little easier to mix for me in a little smaller amount, plus press through, and then I can deal with it on obviously a little easier amounts. So I have 11.5 pounds here. Our summer sausage mix, spices and all that, calls for 0.92 ounces per pound. Turn on our little Tanita scale, digital scale in grams. I got to get 10.58 ounces on this to mix in per tub here. This amount will go in this one, and then I'll measure out obviously another 10.6. Mix it in with that. Then we'll regrind it through the smallest diameter plate. Okay, here's the 4 bowls of the summer sausage, about 48 pounds. That'll press out. I just finished chopping up some more jalapenos. And then the cheese. So it's usually the rule of thumb is 1 pound of cheese per 10 pounds of meat. So now I'm going to add in the jalapenos chopped up that I did. We'll get those in there. It doesn't matter if you get a little juice in there, it just adds to the flavor. Some people like it with what I put in there and the amount of jalapenos. Some people say, Kev, can you kick it up hotter? And I'm like, yeah. But the jalapenos don't add like a heat, like, it's just a good flavor. You know, we'll put habaneros in it, that kicks it up a little bit more, even hotter peppers if you'd like. I'm gonna mix this up, stuff it into a can, and we'll press a couple out for you so you can see that process and how it comes out when it's done. And that'll be one more thing off the checklist of this video. So, pressing one out. See, it'll press through there because there's holes so the air seeps out. We'll get it nice and tight. And I like it like about that. You know, they're 18 inches long, but I shave off like 4 inches. Some people will tie them with strings. I like the hog clamp, you'll see. So just twist it on the end, make sure it's nice and tight and packed here. And then I just lay it on my towel so it doesn't roll. Boom, crimp it, and voila. There's the hog clamp. Get your scissors, trim off the end. There's your summer sausage. Now this will go in the smoker for approximately, depends on how much is in the smoker, how much meat. So let's just say 3 hours, 4 hours. It'll come out beautiful, awesome tasting. People love this. I love this. So let me keep pressing out a couple more, and that should call it good on these until we smoke them and show you the final product. Okay, we just finished up smoking and wrapping the pepper sticks. Ended up with 10 of the plain and 12 of the jalapeno and cheese. Smaller, bigger, I don't know. We just cut them a little bigger on some of these. So hey, keep in tune with me, and we'll finish this off. Thanks a lot. Okay, everybody, we just pulled out the 20 summer sausage sticks from the smoker over there and the bigger one. And we are going to wrap them. They're 17 inches, 16 inches long, about 2 pounds a piece, whatever. Jalapeno and cheese, I'm gonna wrap them. I'm gonna show you how we do that real quick and get them into the freezer, and that will wrap up this segment. That was so stupid. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just get one down. Well, I might as well show you. We're gonna get one down off the hanging hook. Then we get a nice clean towel, and we just kind of wipe them off for a second in case there's any residual grease, oil, moisture on them. So there's none of that. They are cool. They've been hanging and cooled down for about 3 hours already, about 2 hours already, 2.5. And then we're gonna wrap them. So normally, Shelly, my helper, my wife, my queen, my love, was here to help me, and she does that side and then gives it to me, and then I do the wrapping. And so anyways, we'll do a couple, show you the end product, and be done. Boom. Normally don't do this with the gloves because I'm not the one touching the food, but when we touch the food, we wear the gloves. And there you go. Summer sausage, jalapeno and cheddar, not for sale in the date. I'll do the next 19 of those, get them in the cooler, the freezer, get them ready for the people. Our friend that's coming to get these. And 20 sticks. 20 sticks can last, if you really go through them, you can probably have them gone in 2 months, 3 months, because they're really good. But people will have to kind of ration them out over the next 10 months when you have them. But he's got 20 sticks. Normally when you do a deer, you only get about 6. Depends on how much meat you have and the weight. But 20 sticks of this summer sausage, that'll last you really good. It's really good stuff, especially for the holidays. Put them out on one of those charcuterie boards or whatever, or Just eat them for the holidays, give them away. People just love them. They're great. I'm gonna finish wrapping up these last 19 summer sausages. That'll pretty much conclude this this segment of doing elk pepperoni and some deer pepper sticks and some deer and elk or deer summer sausage. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like me. That's great. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Y'all have a good day.